Good evening, and welcome to 20th Century News with Nicole Killian and Cassidy Thompson.
Tonight, we have some very special guests joining us. Put your hands together for... We don't have an audience, do we?
We don't. Anyways, our first guest is your very own friendly neighborhood do-gooder, Jane Adams. Jane, tell us about your advancements in your Hull House.
Well, this is the second year we're open, and we assist almost 20,000 people every week. In addition to an art gallery, we recently installed a second kitchen, a coffee house, and a gymnasium. With more money, we hope to install a swimming pool, a boarding club, and an art studio, and maybe even a music school, a drama group, or an employment bureau.
That's amazing! Tell us, what would a common day look like at the Hull House?
Well, there are kindergarten classes in the morning, club meetings for older children in the afternoon, and evening classes for adults. It really comes down to the fact that one's well-being depends on the well-being of others. This house is built from the community and for community values.
Wow. What would you say are your future goals for the Hull House?
I hope to raise money and convince well-to-do families to help in order to nourish the sick and troubled people of the lower classes. I wish the community to come together to bridge the economic gap that are beginning to form. I hope to give youth and adults opportunities that were not previously possible.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Jane.
A highly acclaimed bestseller, The Jungle, by Upton St. Clair, recently hit the stands, which graphically described the disgusting working conditions of the meatpacking industry. We have Upton here to read a small snippet of his new novel.
A man could run his hand over these piles of meat and sweep off handfuls of dried dung and rats. These rats were nuisances, and the packers would put poisoned bread out for them, and they would die. And then the rats, bread, and meat would go into the hoppers together.
Wow, that certainly paints a picture for us. Tell us more about your books.
Well, here we have my book. That is a gorilla. That is a jaguar, which I later realized had spots. Therefore, it's a leopard. Actually, there's really no reason why there are animals. But, you know, a jungle describes working conditions because they are raw and primitive and
Wait, so, thank you, Upton. Cassidy, I hear there are new acts in place concerning this pressing health concern?
Why, yes, there are. Due to the public uproar on this...
which my book helped to bring to light of the public.
President Roosevelt supported the Pure Food and Drug Act as well as the Meat Inspection Act, which required improved sanitation in this industry. And now we no longer have to worry about finding poisoned bread and rat feet in our meat.
And this is much thanks to Upton's wonderful investigation and literary masterpiece. Thank you very much, Upton.
Nicole, put the pizza down! Excuse me, everybody, we have breaking news. This just in, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory is burning to the ground. We have live footage.
I let it fall. I need to jump out. There's nowhere to go. Does it fail? You won't reclaim it. Oh no! It's almost to me. No. And I was over until you kissed my lips and you saved me. Why couldn't we get better working conditions?
The doors are locked!
There's no exit. We're all gonna die. Half of us are dead. The more are going. Oh, Stacy just burned alive. Not Stacy. She's my best friend. No. You say they were never true in the games you play. You would always
Comes in, we have learned that all escapes, windows included, were blocked in order to keep workers focused. Not only did this cause unclean air, but prevented escape short of jumping to one's death. But we digress. In other news, a pressing debate is occurring between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Now we have Booker T. Washington.
Call me BTW.
and Dubois. Why don't we start off this debate with the racial tensions? What do you think, Booker T?
Well, come on, Meg. We just gotta chill. We just gotta bide our time, you know? Good things come to those who wait. We will get our hour. No one's gonna oppress us. But it'll come. You know, I got faith.
That's not gonna work, man. We need results now. We need to get our voices out so that we can stop our people from being lynched.
Man, you cray. That's no way to go about it.
We need results now. We are radicals. And did our people wait when we were getting independence from the British? Well, no.
well, we did a little bit.
Well, we were radicals and we made drastic changes so that we could get results now.
Yeah, whatever. What do you think, Nicole?
I think that it's time to go on to the new subject. Cassidy, to you.
Nicole. Congress has recently passed 4 snazzy new amendments named the Reconstruction Amendments. Starting this new era of change, the 16th Amendment granted tax income, followed by the 17th Amendment, which mandated the direct election of U.S. senators by voters. That's always good. The 18th Amendment prohibited the manufacture, sale, or importation of any type of intoxication, basically meaning that national prohibition has taken effect. Finally, the 19th Amendment has granted women's suffrage after a long struggle for our God-given rights. Thank you.
Now, we have an eye-opening interview with our own Woodrow Wilson to discuss his 14 points to bring peaceful world negotiations.
His first 8 points spell out his belief in choosing one's own political future, specifically in Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires.
The 9th point suggests that colonial disputes take into account the interests of the colonized people.
In your remaining 5 points, you offer a post-war vision. Care to further explain?
Why, yes. I envision a world of free trade, free navigation, reduced armaments, openly negotiated treaties, and a general association of nations to resolve conflicts peacefully.
How do you think this will affect the nation's view on the impending war?
I feel as though this will solidify our sound reasoning for entering the war. Not selfish, imperialistic reasons, but truly noble ones.
Thank you, Wilson. This has definitely been an eye-opening interview.
Horrific war was finished, Allied nations were determined to avenge their nation's wartime losses. This was done with the Versailles Treaty Convention.
I'm the real Cassidy.
In this treaty convention, harsh terms were brought upon Germany by those who bitterly resented their beginning influence on the war. Some of Wilson's themes of democracy and self-determination were brought out in this treaty as well.
For instance, German colonies were divided between the Allies, with the eventual promise of independence. However, they also chose to ignore Asia and African colonization and failed to come to terms with the strength Russia possessed.
One victory for Wilson in the treaty was the beginning of the League of Nations, an international organization that embodied his want for peace and justice worldwide. Welcome to a segment we like to call
What to do to not get the flu? What to do to not get the flu? What to do to not get the flu?
Today we have an expert joining us to tell y'all how to avoid the influenza virus.
Influenza is a highly contagious virus that has already killed 30 million people worldwide. Despite our recent medical advancements, we have no weapons against it.
So, I just have one question. Are you a man or a woman?
Well, that's beside the point.
Okay, basically, watch out for the flu.
Do you have any tips on how to stay away from this horrible death?
Stay out of the cities and avoid birds. Best of luck!
Well, thank you. That concludes this segment of
What to do to not get the flu? What to do to not get the flu? What to do to not get.
Thanks for watching 20th Century News. I'm Cassidy Thompson.
I'm Nicole Killian.
And we have no idea who that is.
Guys, it's backwards.
Well, thank you for watching 20th Century News. We highly appreciate your viewer ratings. They make us happy. I snorted.
Well, nation comes in. We have learned that all escapes, windows. Oh my god.
Good evening.
Oh my god.
Okay, seriously.
Well,
It stopped.
Thanks for watching 20th Century News. I'm Cassidy Thompson.
I'm Nicole Killian.
And I'm